fighters, I'm giving you instructions in the locker room. I expect a good, clean fight. Listen to my instructions at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. God bless you both.
It's the summer of boxing in Uzbekistan. Several of their amateur boxers are doing great over in the Paris Olympic Games right now. Saturday night, Islam Madrimov in the main event against Terrence Crawford. And now the Uzbekistani silver medalist from the Olympics, Shakram Giyasov, 15-0 with 9 knockouts. In action here tonight. Let's see if he can deliver the goods. His trainer wants a knockout win, but Miguel Parra not going to make it easy. Scheduled for 10 rounds live from the Santa Monica Pier, ladies and gentlemen, in Southern California. Todd Grisham, Sergio Mora, and Chris Mannix ringside.
You know, that left hook of Giyasov is one of his best weapons, so keep an eye on that early on.
I actually drove here with Shakram Giyasov and his crew. I got to talk to him, and they basically said, Parra's right up our alley. He's going to be right in front of us. He'll be aggressive, and that's what we want, someone that's going to come and get it.
Yep, when you have footwork and you have angles, that's exactly what you want, because you can get to catch an angle on them, flank them from that weak position, and that's how you get the knockouts when you're dealing with tough guys. You know, you punch them when they don't see the punch coming. But Parra is an imposing figure, big, muscular fighter. He's going to stay in front of you, so there's going to be something to hit there. You got to soften him up. If you're Giyasov, jabbing down to the belly, bending him in half.
Parra coming off a win in March over Ramon Barajas. But this would be by far the biggest win on his resume.
See a couple of times Giyasov just missing with that left hook. Expect him to go down to the body a little bit more. See if you can soften him up down there, get those arms down.
I could already see that Parra's going to give Giyasov some issues. I mean, one, he looks in great shape. He looks in shape. He has the power, but he's fighting the right fight right now. He's not trying to throw too many punches at Giyasov right now. He's trying to throw the right punches, trying to get Giyasov off balance, jumping in and counter. Parra's a clever veteran.
Giyasov 4 straight decision wins after starting out with 9 knockouts in his first 11 fights. Do you read anything into that, Sergio?
Well, that he's fighting better opposition. I mean, you look at who he's fighting. He's fighting fighters that have been on the championship level. Cano has over 40 fights. When you're fighting fighters that are undefeated, 27-0, 22-4. These guys have winning records, and it's hard to get them out of there.
Yeah, Cano's undefeated, but Cano's a blown-up 135, 140-pounder, and he's also someone that's there to get hit. That was disappointing by Giyasov. He had opportunities to get Cano out of there, knocked him down.
He dropped him
early in that fight, but just didn't do enough to follow up. When he gets a guy hurt, he has got to follow up.
Nice work here from Parra. Looked like a slick spot there as Giyasov points it out to the referee.
That's the second time Giyasov has actually lost his footing. And for a fighter that depends on his footwork, that's going to be an issue if that continues to happen. Good body shots there by Giyasov.
Not really putting much behind those yet. And that'll do it for round 1.
Got a towel? Is there a towel right there? A towel?
Nice athletic uppercut here, and got out of the way. That's what I like to see from tough guys like Parra. You land your punches and then get out of there, because you're going to be lacking the speed. You're going to be lacking the confidence if you're getting hit with a counter shot. So hit, move. Nice, good round there by Parra, but Giyasov had better moments.
They're wiping the mat down there, but I don't think it's a condensation issue. That just may be a little bit of a slick mat to work off of.
What makes you so confident it's not a condensation issue?
Oh, because we're in Southern California. It hasn't rained in 6 weeks.
Yeah, we got some humidity. We're right here on the ocean. Sergio, what do you think about the condensation in the ring right now?
I'm thinking of another word, not condensation.
Let's see if Giasov becomes a little more aggressive here, lets his hands go. That's what everyone wants to see. He is rated first by the WBA.
Look, he needs to start jabbing. Giasov needs to start jabbing. He can't go punch for punch yet with a strong fighter that's going to be in front of him. You got to slowly start picking him apart. You know, he's a little slightly taller, so start jabbing at the chest, start jabbing at the belly. Don't overload like that, because those aren't going to land right now.
A couple other Uzbek fighters here in attendance. MJ Akhmadaliev, Bektimir Melikuziev over there. Obviously, Israel Madrimov hanging around after the open workouts. Giasov said they do spar pretty regularly. Not a bad sparring partner to have.
Yeah, all these guys have been working together, training together since the amateur days, and after years in the pro ranks, they're all kind of getting those big opportunities. You know, MJ Akhmadaliev is a former unified champion at 122. Bektimir Melikuziev really rallied since that loss to Gabe Rosado, and there you have Giasov next in line for a world title shot at 147.
Well, Giasov's engaged in 2 consecutive WBA world title eliminators in his last 2 bouts. He earned the #2 rating by outpointing Harold Calderon last year, and then kept that rating with the 11th round technical decision against Pablo Cesar Cano. That was in February.
Ate a big right hand just now.
Yeah, he did. That kind of shook Giasov. Even though it didn't hurt him, that shook him. He stood quiet for a little while. And Parra, he actually noticed it late. It was a late reaction by Giasov.
His corner trying to urge him on, Parra.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, 30 seconds into this fight, I just knew Parra was going to be a tough guy. One of these fighters that just wait for this moment. He's a big fighter. You can see that he's clearly bigger than Giasov, wide shoulders, strong, and he's fighting the right fight. You know, he's not mixing it up with the faster hands of Giasov. He's picking his moments, throwing jabs like that, but still stepping back, looking for a big counter.
He's not doing anything special out there. Just jab, right hand, and really being disciplined with that approach.
Yeah, you don't want to out-special a special fighter. you know what you are. Parra knows what he is, and he's staying within his limits.
This isn't the first time Giasov's fought outside. Remember, we called his fight in Tulsa, Oklahoma, downtown. Nice left hook.
Low blow right there by Giasov. And Parra, I don't like it when fighters complain to the referee with a low blow. Let the referee do his job. If he hits you low, you go back and get your own.
How about this for a scene, ladies and gentlemen? Standing room only on the Santa Monica Boardwalk. Huge event as Riyadh season hits Southern California this Saturday. The pound-for-pound King Crawford versus Madrimov at 154 pounds. Every fight on the bill. Electrifying.
You know, I don't think we've ever seen a fight week quite like this, where you have the grand arrivals here on the Santa Monica Pier, and now an event on Wednesday here on the pier. Just a great atmosphere early in this fight week.
You going to eat some fried Oreos, Sergio?
Say it again?
You going to eat some fried Oreos on the way out?
Are you kidding me? No. But let's talk about this action right here. I mean, look, both of them had their moments. This is what I like about Parra. I mean, look, that's what I didn't like about Parra, complaining to the referee. That's when you can get hit with something dumb. Do not complain. Just go get it yourself. You got hit low, go get it back. Return the favor.
By the way, Shakram Giasov is a huge Sergio Mora fan. Remember his last fight, Sergio? He said he had a secret punch he was working on just for you.
The uppercut, that's right. Well, I mean, I'm a big fan of his as well. You know, but I understand that we got to be, we got to critique him. But I like what I see. He has the potential. He has way more. He's way more gifted than I ever was. But he needs to show out a little bit. He needs to show a little bit more oomph.
Don't sell yourself short. You're a former world champion. Giasov hasn't won that yet.
I was in the silver medalist.
How close did you come to making the Olympic Games?
I lost in the Olympic trial finals to the bronze medalist in Jermaine Taylor by 4 points, I think.
Really? We're in round 3, scheduled for 10 here. Giasov, the wonder boy in the white trunks, the #1 rated WBA fighter in this division, taking on Miguel Parra, the Mexican, who's lost 3 of his last 5, but he's doing pretty good so far here.
A little bit too much headhunting early on from Giasov. Parra's got that guard up real high, and if you watch, he leaves that midsection exposed. I'd like to see Giasov go downstairs a little bit more.
Right hand from Parra around the temple.
It's actually Parra that's doing the things that Giasov should be doing. You know, poking downstairs, bending his knees, foot feigning, jabbing. Giasov does that. He throws 2 punches, nothing lands really cleanly, and then he backs up. They're both looking for counters pretty much. No one's really taking initiative. You can see how Parra throws that jab, not really to land hard. He jabs and pulls back, waiting for a counter. And then Giasov misses 2 punches, and then he stops. You know, in a fight like this, you got to be satisfied hitting gloves. You know, you're not going to land clean shots, but you got to accumulate points and get confidence.
And that was my point, Sergio, when I was speaking to Joel Diaz.
Good right from Parra.
You know, Diaz has seen an aggressive version of Shakram Giasov. You know, when he was racking up all those knockouts, he was letting his hands go, throwing punches in combination. But the last couple of fights, with a footstep right there before the shot. The last couple of fights, we haven't seen that same guy. And they have been imploring him in the gym to get back to that style of fighting.
Well, he's starting to turn it up a little bit here. Nice left hook to the chin of Parra. Final 10 seconds in the 3rd round.
You know what? I would like to see Giasov double up that left hook. You know, he's throwing that left hook really nicely. Parra's blocking it, but if you could double it up, maybe even triple it up, that's when you can start penetrating that guard, and then that's when the punches start coming together. Parra on the back foot, still jabbing though. You know, looking for a counter shot. Both of them not landing clean shots, and that's what I'm talking about. They're both throwing the shots they should be landing. No one doubling up on shots, so it's pretty much a give and take, but nothing landing. It's like a fencing match, but no one's really getting stabbed.
Round 4 scheduled for 10. Giasov, a 3-0 record in the state of California, 2 knockouts. Trains out of Indio.
Good shot there by Parra. Giasov looking for a counter. It was Parra that landed the shoulder hook.
Oh, good right there from Giasov. Kind of cut Parra off at the pass, so to speak.
Yeah, but he didn't punch through. If you notice, he punched and leaned back. He was already pulling back when he was landing the punch, so he had no impact. See, Giasov's not punching through his opponent. He's punching, pulling back, and ready to pounce on his opponent again. That's the reason he's not getting the respect of Parra.
You know, one of the reasons people like Parra in this fight is that his level of competition is pretty good, especially compared to Shakram Giasov. A couple of his
nice double left hook.
And there you go. That's what we needed. That's what I was asking for, the double left hook. That's how you beat stiff fighters, guys that are upright like that.
Nice smile there from Parra. Says, okay, let's go. La Maquina wants to brawl.
And Parra's faced some good punchers. You know, faced Florian Marcoux, who actually dropped him in that fight, and Roy Monvilla, who is a very good puncher in that weight class.
You feel like maybe Giasov's slowly starting to break him down?
Well, when he landed that shot, yeah, but then he went back to loading up with the hook. And then he went back to what he was doing wrong. Don't load up on the first shot. You know, concentrate on speed. See, he's loading up on that, falling off balance, and he has to restart. So work your way in with speed, then you can unleash the power. but you do it once you break through. Once you break through that front foot, that front guard, then you can let go of the combinations. But when you miss your first shot, there's no confidence.
Parra's starting to talk a little bit. Giasov speaks 6 different languages. I'm wondering if Spanish is one of them.
Well, right now he needs to start throwing 6 punches because 1 and 2s is not enough.
Yeah, he's trying to set up that left hook, but he's doing it in a bit of a predictable way. That right to the body and then trying to throw the left up top. And Parra's kind of onto it.
Believe it or not, Giasov has brilliant footwork. Well, at least he had brilliant footwork in past fights. But it's Parra that's doing the foot feints, and that's actually what's keeping Giasov, in check a little bit from not attacking. Parra's a clever fighter. He's a clever veteran. See, nothing really landed right there by Giasov.
And Parra still talking trash as Giasov gets the better of the exchanges.
Talking trash and gaining confidence is Miguel Parra.
The co-main event, Saturday night, Pitbull Cruz versus Valenzuela. Chris Mannix, what do you think of this matchup?
I think it's going to be a really physical fight. Isaac Cruz, one of the best pressure fighters in boxing. Valenzuela moving up in weight for this fight, but he has been training at that Robert Garcia Boxing Academy, and one of his top sparring partners was Oscar Duarte. So if you're preparing for a pressure fighter, that's a pretty good sparring partner to have.
Very live dog is Valenzuela. Someone's getting knocked out. And there's that double left hook I've been asking for. Beautiful shot. There you go. That's what he needs to keep doing. That and the jabs. Jabbing down to the midsection. Keep it simple for Giasov. Everything will open up in time. And he does have time in a 10-round fight.
Is this Peso Puma?
I have no clue. How do you know Peso Pluma?
How do you not know Peso Pluma?
Because I'm in my 40s. I have no clue what he is.
I think I met him in Mexico when Canelo fought in Guadalajara. He was sitting ringside. I shook his hand. They were like, "That's Peso Pluma." I said, "Cool."
You know what Peso Pluma means?
No.
Featherweight.
Oh, really?
Big boxing fan.
So it looks like more of the same.
Yeah, more of the same. Both of them missing shots. It's just it's not a good style matchup that you wanted to show out for Giasov. But that's been the case with him. They matched him up with experienced fighters, and that's the reason he hasn't really stepped up with the knockouts.
But isn't this the kind of style he would want? Someone that's going to stand right in front of him? He doesn't want to fight a guy who's running away, does he?
Well, he's standing right in front of him, but Parra is stepping back, so it's not like he's flat-footed right in front of him getting hit. Parra does step back. Parra has good timing. He has experience. Notice how, look, he's on his back foot. Anytime Giasov comes in, he takes a slight step back and comes back with a punch. Baits him with those punches. See, those are respective punches, right? But he's still looking for something to come back. Parra, every time he punches, notice how he steps back.
I like that little jab to the midsection that Giasov just threw.
Oh, good right hand from Chakram.
And it sets up shots like that. If you keep sticking that jab to the midsection, making Parra drop those hands, that's when you land those dangerous left hooks.
Not only that, but if you can jab your way in up top and then throw that hard right hand to the body, that's also how you stop him in his tracks. The body's going to be the key, though. It's not going to be the headshots. Parra's not going to... One, he rolls with the shots. He turns with the punches. Two, he's pretty good with keeping his guard up. The body shots.
A couple times there, Parra's complained about those shots on the hip, but they look legal to me, right above the belt line, which is a legal punch.
And that's the reason the referee's staying out of this fight.
Well, you talk about the kind of opponents Giasov has faced. He hasn't been babied. He's facing his 11th consecutive opponent and 13th foe in 15 fights with at least 20 wins.
And that's the thing about matchmaking. So in the long run, Giasov is going to be just fine. But right now, the entertainment value and the knockouts and selling and marketing Giasov is not there because they're matching him, a little bit too tough to really showcase what you could do.
I mean, sir, all due respect, Sergio, I don't know about that. Like, you get Pablo Cesar Cano in front of you. That's an opportunity to look really good.
He dropped Cano in the second round. Cano has heavy hands. Cano's been in there with champions.
Spit his mouthpiece out, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you can't knock out everyone, Chris. And Cano's not one of those guys that you just, take advantage of. The guy punches really hard.
More of Giasov's punches are landing. including that one, but a nice receipt delivered from Parra.
Painful receipt. He took that punch right on the chin, came back, landed his own. There's that nice check left hook by Parra. It didn't really land hard, but it still clipped the chin. And right there, both guys better be careful. They exchange punches. Both of them barely missed. Good shots. And like I said earlier, guys, they're both throwing the same punches, but it's Parra with the confidence, with the swagger, with the body language, the look in his eye. And Giasov is just a little bit one step behind. Not saying he's losing, just a one step behind and landing the big punches.
Well, we are in round 6 now. Sergio, have you given Parra a round yet? Or do you think Giasov's won the first
No,
fight?
he's probably won at least one round, but we know that Giasov is in control of this fight. Parra's not really, in his first half of the fight, he's not really looking to land rounds. He's looking to land the big punch. But by doing that, he fell behind on points.
It's hard to outbox someone with the amateur pedigree that Shakram Giasov has.
Yeah, that's and Parra knows that as a veteran, so he's not trying to outbox him. He's trying to land that one lightning in the bottle shot. I'll fight him, not outbox him.
Good body work there from Shakram. Started downstairs, finished upstairs. As his punches are landing a little bit more regularly now. Swing and a miss, and that right hand connected. Might have been the best punch of the fight for Parra.
Man, I'm telling you, Giasov better be careful.
Yeah.
These punches are barely missing his chin. And even when they are landing, they're not landing solid. Parra has the power to turn your lights off or hurt really badly. Giasov is just standing there.
The crowd urging Parra on. This may be his moment. That right hand snapped the neck of Giasov.
Snapped the neck, and it didn't land cleanly, Todd. If that punch would have been half an inch north, that would have been trouble for the Wonder Boy.
Well, we're starting to wonder about the boy here in round number 6 as Parra is having more success, but there Giasov lands a good punch.
And it's Miguel shooting Parra right now inside that squared circle because he's doing great, man. You missed the shooting Parra. Golf. Top.
Shooting Parra. That's good. This is a pretty entertaining round 6 here. Both men have landed some heavy hands. There's a right. Giasov. Digging downstairs for that one. Parra's complaining. That seems like it's right on the belt line. The referee either needs to warn him or let it go. He's kind of in the middle here. Every time Parra complains about a low blow and puts his hands down, the referee kind of bails him out. Oh, big left! Massive left hand from Giasov, and Parra ate it. He's covering up, though, trying to get out of this round. Both men with good moments here in the 6th. That was a fun round.
Yes, it was. I mean, it's been a pretty competitive fight. Parra's in this fight and giving issues to Shakram Giasov. Giasov standing right in front of him. Nice shot right there by Miguel Parra, and you can see that it didn't land perfectly clean, but boom, shot right there. Half an inch more north, and that would have been trouble for the Wonder Boy. And I'm telling you right now, when they're exchanging punches like that, that can be dangerous for both fighters. Because Parra has the confidence right now, has the momentum, and shots like that's not a good look for Shakran Giasov right now, who's supposed to have a great show here tonight.
Great camera shot there by our DAZN crew. Gary, our producer in the truck, doing a bang-up job here as we're in round 7, scheduled for 10. Santa Monica Pier in Southern California. Chris Mannix with a report. What do you got?
I was in the corner, sorry, right there we go. I was in the corner with Joel Diaz, the trainer of Shakran Giasov, and he said he wants to see Giasov go back downstairs a lot more. Said there's way too much headhunting going on by Giasov. They believe that Para is slowing down, but they want to see him go to the body a little bit more.
I feel like that's never not a good idea. Have you ever heard a trainer say, go to the body more, and you're like, no, don't go to the body more?
I've heard it, not often, but yeah.
Well, I think they see, Sergio, kind of what we're seeing, that the high guard of Para.
That was a big body shot. And again, the referee bails him out.
No, that was a clean body shot.
What is he doing?
That was a clean body shot. The referee's getting way carried away here.
He's going to take a point for that.
Nonsense.
That is a bad call by the referee. That was not even borderline. That was a clean shot. And you look at Para right now, he looks like he's still struggling with that shot. I think he just robbed Shakran Giasov of a knockout.
Wow.
Come on. You okay?
And Para doing the veteran thing.
Let's see if we have time for a quick replay here.
Letting the pain go away, because that was a clean body shot. I don't need to see this replay. That was a clean body shot.
Well, we're going to see it anyway, Sergio. Right. Oh,
Not even close.
6 inches away from the belt line.
Not even close to the belt line. That is a horrible call by the referee.
Terrible call.
But I was mentioning it earlier, it seems like all the shots haven't been low. And now you can see Para, desperate times, trying to switch stances to protect the liver, because Giasov now has a target to aim for.
This is the Giasov that we've seen in the past. The guy that puts his punch together, upstairs, downstairs.
And because Giasov is hurt to the body, the headshots are going to land a lot more cleanly by Giasov now. So expect Giasov to throw looping shots over the guard of Para and be landing those haymakers.
You know, you wonder, Sergio, if the referee was influenced by all the complaining that Para's done up until this point about some of these borderline shots.
Referees shouldn't be influenced. I mean, they got a job to do. They're professionals at this. But, yeah, that was just a bad call.
Para trying to turn on the offense now, but Giasov knows if he can just touch the liver, just with a grazing shot, Para might go down. Sergio, how long does a liver shot linger throughout the fight?
Oh, it lingers. It definitely lingers. It can be easily 2 minutes or 2 rounds.
Those liver shots Sergio took in his day are still lingering.
Well,
they are.
And the alcohol consumption's not letting it
like I was going to say, what shots are you talking about?
Oh, big shot again from Giasov, and Para has nowhere to hide. 20 seconds left to survive.
La Máquina is getting broken down by the Wonder Boy.
You know, the referee has to ignore Para in these situations. Every time he takes a body shot, he looks over at the referee for help. These are clean shots being landed by Giasov.
And clean overhand shots like I'm talking about right there. Don't be surprised if Giasov drops or hurts Para with an overhand shot right now. Concentrating way too much on covering the ribs. The headshots are opening up.
Chris, I know we'll see the highlights here in a minute. You've been in this sport for a long time. That may be one of the worst low blow calls I can ever remember seeing.
Yeah, well above the midsection, right in the neighborhood of the rib cage. Picture perfect shot. That's exactly the kind of punch that you're looking for. We're going to see it right here. Set up really nicely by Giasov. Upstairs, back downstairs, right in the lower mids. And look, Para didn't even complain at first. He knew that was a clean shot right away. It's the referee that blew that call.
And it started with the double hook.
Oh.
Double hook which raised the guard of Para to block those shots. And then the third one ended up being a shot downstairs to the liver. And right there, beautiful shot. That shot was low right there.
Now the referee's gunshot. He's letting everything go. He could hit him in the foot and he wouldn't say anything.
And then you see the reaction again with the body shot by Parra. He doesn't like those body shots. That's the thing about these tough Mexicans, man. They could take a big shot upstairs, but once you touch that liver, then they become human.
The liver doesn't discriminate. No one's liver is tougher than someone else's liver, unless you're Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones.
The liver doesn't quiver.
Let's see if Shakram Giasov can build off that momentum that he found in round 7. And Chris, your reporting was spot on. You said the corner thought Parra was beginning to slow down, and is he ever?
And you can see the confidence in Giasov starting to grow, and those headshots are starting to get more. And there's a great shot downstairs because Parra clearly trying to defend that lower body because these body shots are just withering.
It's got to be tricky, Sergio, when you've got a lingering liver ache and you're still trying to throw punches but protect it at the same time, and you know your opponent's going for it.
It happens all the time, and every fighter's gone through that, whether in a real fight or in sparring, but you know how to react to it. You got to disguise the pain. It's very hard to do, but you got to have a poker face and disguise that pain when you're hurt to anywhere.
You got to be an actor.
You got to be an actor. You got to lie to your opponent.
Now Giasov dropping the guard down, giving us a little Roy Jones action. Parra not throwing nearly enough punches anymore.
Nope, because if he opens up by throwing shots, he's going to be vulnerable. So right now, he just wants to, get that pain that's still lingering, like you said, Todd, and then get back to work, and maybe even just cross the finish line and have a moral victory.
If you're Miguel Parra. Sorry, Sergio. If you're Giasov, just keep taking what Parra's going to give you. If he's going to give you that jab, just keep throwing it at him. Make him force those hands up.
Parra bleeding from the left liver, so he has a small cut.
Yeah, cut over his left eye.
Left eye, excuse me. Keep talking about the liver, now I'm talking about his eye.
Giasov trying to find the combination to this safe.
And shifting stances a couple of times this round.
Yeah, he is fighting from that southpaw stance now.
Is that something you'd recommend for young boxers, Sergio? Would you recommend they practice different stances or try and master one stance first before moving on?
You got to master one before you start doing, trying to get cute. That's how you get yourself hurt and knocked out. Not everyone could do what a Bud Crawford does, or a Boots Ennis, or master switches like that.
Giasov back to the traditional stance and lands a right hand. We'll have 2 rounds left here from Southern California. And a reminder of what we're all here for, this massive showdown Saturday night between Crawford and Madrimov. And Chris, the more people I talk to about this fight, the more people I find that kind of on the down low are saying, I think Madrimov's got a real shot to beat him.
Look, this is the weight class that Madrimov is most comfortable in. This is a position that he seems very comfortable in, this kind of spotlight. He has been waiting for this opportunity. And look, Terence Crawford's fought some very good opponents, but he's jumping up to junior middleweight to fight a guy that is arguably the top man there. So I think this is going to be a very tough fight.
Parra, still picking and poking, looking for a counter shot, but Giasov has those legs moving, the confidence flowing. Much better round by Giasov, controlling the action, controlling the tempo, and controlling the man in front of him.
All right, 2 rounds left. How aggressive would you be if you're Giasov to get the knockout?
Not aggressive at all, man. I'm telling you.
You wouldn't be.
Nope. It's already in the 9th round. He doesn't have the one-punch power to hurt Parra now, unless it's to the body. If you're going to get aggressive, go downstairs, but don't go head hunting and set yourself up to get hit with something dumb.
I think you get very aggressive. I think you've got a wounded fighter in front of you. And look, not all wins are created equal. A knockout win for Shakram Giasov will do a lot more for him than another decision.
Boy, every time he touches the right side of Parra's body, there's a reaction. Just even that little touching jab got a wince on the face.
Good
Nice.
uppercut.
Yep. Oh, and then the right hand scores.
See, Chris, these are the things where, when you're a veteran, I already said earlier, you're not here to win rounds. You're here to land one clean shot. So if Giasov goes, throws caution to win, gets over aggressive looking for the knockout, he's gonna get clipped with something by the veteran. You don't do that. You already tried that in the first half of the fight. Parra wasn't going anywhere. You almost knocked him out with a body shot. He didn't go anywhere. Now it's just time to control and just another decision win.
For those who watched a couple of weeks ago, H2O Silva was dominating every minute of the fight against Lucas Body out of Canada, and then one punch basically changed everything. We got a knockout of the year contender. So it can happen.
Perfect example. Thank you, Todd.
Chris, why are you rolling your eyes?
It's a totally different situation. Ashton Silva is a 20-year-old prospect. This is a former silver medalist who is the #1 contender for 2 titles. You want to send a message, you want to say to Brian Norman or to Amata Stanionis, I'm next, go get yourself a knockout.
Good right hand scored there for Giasov. He is throwing the power punches, Sergio. It's not like he's coasting.
There's single power punches, That's safe. That's fine. When you're throwing when you're throwing single hard shots like that, you're not putting yourself in position to get hit with the counter shot. And you're the faster fighter with the faster hands and faster feet. So throw one shot, step back. You're in control. And that's what I've been talking about with Giasov. Parra's looking to punch in between the shots. So if Giasov does open up with a 3-punch combination, you can bet that Parra's going to intercept with one of those shots in between.
Oh, nice. Parra let his guard down for a second, paid the price, and he's trying to get his shot in. That's a bit of a hell. And we'll have 3 minutes to go. I think it's going to be a pretty good 3 minutes, too. Parra doesn't seem like the type that's going to roll over. To go. Will Miguel Parra go for the gusto and try and land that one punch that could change his career? Here we go. Giasov wants another knockout. Has 4 straight decision wins after 9 knockouts in his first 11. Oh, good right hand from Parra.
Well timed.
Yeah. Well, normally you might say, hey, Parra was a great opponent for Giasov. He took him the distance, got the work in. But at this point, we want to see Giasov be dominant and get finishes. He is the #1 contender after all.
I think with Giasov, for me, it's more about missed opportunities. I thought there were some missed opportunities in that last fight against Pablo Cesar Cano. And as bad as Parra was hurt in that 7th round, I would have liked to have seen Giasov over these last 3 be more aggressive in trying to land that fight-ending body shot. Just right there, lands good body shot. More of them as this fight closes out.
Doubling the body shots, too, just like he did upstairs.
Good right hand from Parra. Parra's coming to win this here in the final minutes.
He's landing some good right hands, straight right hands. No more jab. He just, lead right hands out.
Showing us that Mexican spirit. Parra has been stopped twice in his career. Can Giasov make it 3 here with just over a minute to go? But it looks like Parra is the one going for the KO.
I know what you're saying, Sergio, about wanting to get the win. The win is what matters. But I remember as we look at some of the stablemates of Giasov in the crowd, MJ Akhmadaliev going up against Ronnie Rios. Akhmadaliev was up big towards the end of that fight, but with one hand, he went out there and finished Ronnie Rios, and that was a defining win for Akhmadaliev. Those are the kind of wins I think Shakram Giasov needs at this stage of his career.
Yeah, on the flip side of that, let's talk about another stablemate in Melikuziev getting knocked out by Rosado and with one big punch, getting over aggressive. So there's a flip side of every coin, Chris Mannix.
It was very early in the fight, though.
He got knocked out. Knockout of the year, Todd.
Hey, you both make great points. But Parra, he's the one going for it. Giasov's flexing and pounding his chest, but it's the Mexican who looks more likely to land something special here with 10 seconds left.
Absolutely, and this is what happens, man. This is why we're going to probably see Miguel Parra once again test one of these fighters on another show, because tough Mexican, tough opponent, and Giasov with another decision victory.
Parra all smiles after going the distance with a #1 ranked fighter according to the WBA. Good on him. Giasov, on the other hand, Sergio, what letter grade would you give him for tonight's performance?
C. This is C. I don't know what else to say. I can't give him a D. I can't give him an F. I certainly can't give him an A or a B. Just a solid C. Solid.
Just like your report cards, huh? From C to shining C.
I wish.
How about this fight? You talk about some fights that are just kind of getting lost in the shuffle. Big Baby Miller versus the returning former world heavyweight champion Andy Ruiz. Hey, Big Baby Miller's lost about 40 pounds since we last saw him.
That's what I noticed. Both these fighters are in great shape, but I get ridiculed when I say great shape because they're still 300 plus, but they are in tremendous shape. They're both motivated. That fight is not going the distance.
So Shakram Giasov, the Uzbekistan native, Olympic silver medalist, one of the most successful amateur fighters in that country's history, appears to have done more than enough to get the win here tonight, but didn't exactly turn heads with that performance. But hey, Uzbekistan 1-0 this fight week. They'd love to make it 2-0 if Israel Madrimov can beat Terrence Crawford on Saturday night.
1-0, and now he's extended his record to 16-0, and still unblemished. He's still an unmarked, undefeated fighter, and carries that confidence. And look, he was in there with a tough Mexican. We're accustomed to saying that, tough Mexican that could take a big shot, but he did have the opportunities downstairs. Hurt Miguel Parra to the body with that liver shot, just didn't capitalize.
And if you just joined us, a brilliant body shot to the liver from Giasov landed on the money. Parra was about to take a knee, and the referee not only called it a low blow, but deducted a point from Giasov, and it wasn't even close to the waistband. That could have changed everything, but that's boxing. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way, and it certainly didn't in that scenario for Giasov, as we're about to get the official decision from Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and we have a split decision. Judge Eddie Hernandez Sr. scores it 95-94 in favor of Miguel Parra. Judge Ivan Guillermo scores it 95-94 in favor of Shakram Giasov. And Judge Pam Hayashida scores it 96-93 for your winner, Shakram Wonderboy Giasov.
Sergio, I didn't even think in a million years that Parra would have come close to winning that fight. But boy, did he ever, a split decision.